Hello all, this is Jedi Crow with another haul video for the week of May 31st, 2023. This past weekend I got my May shipment from Discount Comic Book Service, so consequently I have a lot of comic books to go over this week. So let's get right to it, starting with DC Comics as always. And we grab them right here. Alright. So first up, we have Action Comics number 1055. Next up, we have Batman number 135. And as you can see, the legacy number, this is issue 900 overall. Then we have Batman and the Joker, the Deadly Duo, number 7, wrapping up this miniseries. Next up, we have Batman Incorporated, number 8, as Ghostmaker and the rest of Batman Inc. take on Joker Incorporated. Here we have Batman, The Adventures Continue, Season 3, number 5, with a new DCAU version of the Suicide Squad. Brand new ongoing series, big thick book. It is Batman, the Brave and the Bold, number 1. This is going to be an anthology, and it's all going to be in prestige format every issue. Here we have Catwoman, number 55. Brand new miniseries. We have City Boy, number 1. And his power sounds pretty interesting. Basically, every major city has like an avatar that represents it, and he can actually see them. So, kind of sounds different. I'm looking forward to checking it out. We have another new miniseries with Cyborg, number 1, and taking place in good old Detroit. Looks like, yep, as you can see, the logo is kind of covered up there, but he's right there in Ford Field. So, I know all about that. Next up, we have Green Lantern, number 1, brand new ongoing series. Then we have Power Girl front and center on this cover to Justice Society of America, number 4. Then we have Nightwing, number 104, looking all smug, and I apologize, but I gotta do it. Oh! Yeah, I'm done. Alright, next up we have Poison Ivy, number 12. Another new series, we have Shazam, number 1. New miniseries with a new character. We have Spirit World, number 1. We also have Superman, number 4, cut down by the Kryptonite Claw. New series here, we have Titans, number 1. I guess this is going to be the new flagship, as instead of bringing back the Justice League after quote-unquote killing them off last year, I mean, spoiler alert, they didn't stay dead. But instead of keeping the Justice League as the premier team, the Titans have been promoted to be the premier team of the DC Universe. So, going to be interesting to see how that works. And we have the Vigil, number 1. We have WildC.A.T.s, number 7. And wrapping up the DC Comics, we have Wonder Woman, number 799. We're going to have a big milestone issue next month. Alright, set these DC books down. We're going to go ahead and do Marvel next. And we have The Amazing Spider-Man, number 25, legacy number 919. Have The Avengers, number 1, brand new number 1 series. I'm actually liking the lineup for this team. Good mix of heavy hitters. But A little different, because you got Sam Wilson's Captain America instead of Steve Rogers, but yeah, Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, Vision, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, Thor, Black Panther. Yeah, pretty solid lineup. And we also have a new miniseries, Cult of Carnage, Misery, #1. I don't read Carnage because I've never really cared for that character, but even though his name is on the title, this isn't about Carnage. It's about Misery, who is blanking on her name, Liz Osborne. Yeah, like the whole family. Like Norman has become the Gold Goblin. His grandson is now the Red Goblin, and his daughter-in-law is now Misery. Okay. We have this one shot here, Demon Wars, Secret... no, not Secret. Sorry, Demon Wars, Scarlet Sin, #1. The latest one-shot from Peach Momoko. Here we have this year's Edge of Spider-Verse #1. I think they're just doing a new Edge of Spider-Verse miniseries every year at this point. But this looks pretty cool. It's like a Spider Rex. So we got a dinosaur Spider-Man versus a dinosaur Venom. That pretty much sold me on this right there. Then we, not content with just a series of, or anthology series about the Spider-Men of the multiverse, we gotta do one for the Venomverse as well. And we have Extreme Venomverse #1. So just like Edge of Spider-Verse is an anthology series focusing on all the different spider characters, this one is basically an anthology series covering all the different Venoms throughout the multiverse. So there you have it. We also have Extreme Venomverse #2, and I know that's supposed to be like a court jester Venom in the back, but I just keep thinking Mighty Morphin Black Ranger with that diamond pattern on the chest there. Anyway, we got Guardians of the Galaxy #2 with Gamora there, looking pretty badass. We have Hallows Eve #3. We have Moon Knight #23. Just in case I haven't had my share of symbiotes, this one also has Venom in it. Speaking of symbiotes, we have Red Goblin #4, taking on his granddad. And then we have Rogue and Gambit #3. I'll have this, really been enjoying this. We have Scarlet Witch #5. We have Spider-Gwen Shadow Clones #3. Disappointed, 3 issues in, I still have not seen any ninjas in yellow jumpsuits. What the hell? We have Spider-Man #8. And that wraps up the Marvel books. Okay, now we're going to do the indies. And just set that down. So first up, from Boom Studios, it's a few weeks old. It's from Free Comic Book Day. It is Ranger Academy. I believe we are going to be getting a Ranger Academy ongoing series later this year. And I have a suspicion they do not turn into Rangers yet. I'm sure they will eventually, and I think I know which ones they're going to be. Because while you got the 3 characters that this book focuses on right here, down here I think we have the rest of the cast of the series, and all together there's 9 characters. This set in outer space, and I'm thinking, what Ranger series, or in this case Sentai, starts off with 9 Rangers? What series is currently going to be adapted into Power Rangers Cosmic Fury, but just using the Zords, not using the Ranger suits? I'm thinking Ranger Academy might end up being a Power Rangers adaptation of Q Ranger using the actual Q Ranger suits. In fact, I even see a blue dog there, so that's probably gonna be whoever Okami Blue is gonna here. I don't know. I could be way off, but I know they're just not gonna use the Q Ranger suits in the Power Rangers show for their own reasons, but the precedent has been set that just because a Ranger suit isn't used in the show doesn't mean it doesn't get adapted in the comic books. I mean, we've had the best example would be Death Rouger being used as the Dark Ranger in I think it was during Beyond the Grid storyline. Heckle became the Dark Ranger, Dino Charge Dark Ranger. So who knows? This might be a Q Ranger adaptation. It might not be. I don't really know. It's just speculation on my part. Anyway, we're going to move on to Coffin Comics with Lady Death, Diabolical Harvest, #1. And it says here, World War Death, Chapter 16, Part 1, Official Tie-In. And from Dynamite, we have Gargoyles, #6. I really like this cover here. Very romantic there. Got another free comic book day book here. This one from Dynamite is Red Sonja. Getting ready for the new relaunch of Red Sonja. And from Opus Comics, we have Queens of the Lost World, #1. Some swords and sorcery. I love those type of stories. Conan and Red Sonja and whatnot. Last week I got the first issue of Street Fighter 6 #1, but as I mentioned last week, this was on the way from Free Comic Book Day. It's Street Fighter 6 #0. And we also have the latest issue that came out this week, Street Fighter 6 issue #2, as this miniseries is going to be weekly. Next up, from Whatnot Publishing, we have the North Valley Grimoire #1. And from Zenoscope, we have Grim Fairy Tales #72 with 22 pages of content. And we have Robin Hood, Spawn of... Yeah, I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. Well, you can see there. Go for it, guys. If you can pronounce it, go for it. But it does have 30 pages of content with names I cannot pronounce. And that's it for the comic books, guys. But I do have a couple of figures from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. It's a double dose of yellow. First up, we have Lost Galaxy Yellow Ranger. Looking forward to checking this out when I do the unboxing video in a few days. One disappointment though is that instead of she comes with a Quasar launcher instead of the Quasar Saber, and I don't understand why they did that. I mean, they did it with the standalone Red Ranger figure, but that was fine because that was actually a re-release. We already had the Lost Galaxy Red Ranger in that 2-pack with Psycho Red, so even though the single release came with the Quasar launcher instead of the Quasar Saber, we still had a red Quasar Saber if you were collecting the whole line. And I don't know, to me, this is really strange, because if there's any team that really should just come with their default weapon instead of this, it's the Lost Galaxy team, because more than any other team, except for maybe Samurai, I mean, the Lost Galaxy Rangers, they feel naked if you don't have them with their swords, you know? And it just... I don't get it. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But we'll still check it out. see if all the parts are there. Still one of my favorite Yellow Rangers. Was one of my last Ranger crushes before I got too old to have Ranger crushes. Next up, we have SPD Yellow Ranger, which this completes the team more or less. Not counting Cat Ranger and Nova Ranger, which I think those are just kind of extra credit. But with her, you have the complete team because we have all the other core members of the B Squad. We have Shadow Ranger, we have Omega Ranger, so that's like your main 7. And like I said, Cat Ranger and Nova Ranger, no word if they're going to do them, but they would just be extra anyway. Speaking of extra, I mean, we even got the A Squad, but anyway, we now have the complete SPD team. Yeah, so I mean, I like Z. The SPD Ranger suits are really nice, so glad to have a complete team, and we'll take a closer look at this when I get around to doing the unboxing video. Okay guys, that is it for this week. So with I don't really have anything else to say, so I'll just say have a great week, have a great weekend. There's another video right there, one right there. You can subscribe right there. I hope you guys have a great week, have a great weekend. Later and bye!